I'm Emma, aka Rihanna de la Mort. Today we're continuing our series of Vampyr, and we're now on episode 4. Today we're going to be starting with a rat in the hospital, and we're going to speak to Edgar Swansea. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I just thought it would be really cool to start today's episode with an interesting little link, and I've been sitting on this one for a little while, but I've not heard it mentioned in any of the Let's Plays that I've watched, and I've watched a fair few. I found it quite cool, this link, and the link is between the name of the hospital, which is the Pembroke Hospital, and the name of the administrator, Dr. Edgar Swansea. Now, in Wales, we have a city called Swansea, and we have an area of Wales in the west called Pembrokeshire, or Pembroke. So it's quite a cool link, I thought, that we have an administrator and a hospital with place names in the same country. I am Welsh, so maybe that's why I picked up on the link quite early. I was hoping somebody else was going to pick up on the link and kind of say it, but as I say, nobody that I've watched play has said it yet, so I'm not sure how many people have linked that, or whether it was even done as, done by the developers as an option. So let's go and speak to Edgar.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's a gift. I'm really not. Now, I don't want to kind of annoy him in any way, but I don't think his words do bring any comfort at all. To be honest, I just don't. Technically, yeah, I'm a living paradox because I'm not really alive. I'm not really dead. I'm kind of living in a gray area. So yeah, I'm kind of gonna go, this is no gift.
I'm a dead man. I was murdered. Now I'm a murderer. Tell me how this is a gift.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
Yeah, like I say, I know that may have sounded a little bit harsh, but it's not really a gift. And I mean, as soon as our character woke up, he immediately went on to kill his sister. So, yeah, I mean, we do need each other, and he has said sorry. It's still not amusing, but I'm not gonna like annoy him too much. I'm just gonna say, look, there's no need to apologize, but it was a pretty stupid thing to say.
There's no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, Go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury...
Okay, so we're going to need to meet some aristocracy, potentially, because at this period of time, there would have been certain etiquette in relation to, obviously, social status and who speaks to who and in what order and whether or not you can speak without invite and so on and so forth. Okay, warning letter. Pembroke Hospital, 25th of October. Dear Dr. Swansea, I must inform you of my deepest reservations concerning the Dr. Thoreau Strickland and Harvey Fiddick case. Mr. Fiddick has been hospitalized after a severe work injury. He may permanently lose the use of his arm if not treated adequately. Dr. Strickland claims that a surgical procedure may save the man's arm completely. I say it may also sever its functions for good if complications arise. Our young colleague is audacious and a daring surgeon who might prove a great professional in a few years, but for now he lacks the skill to perform such a risky procedure. Need I remind you of the mistakes he made in the past? Since Dr. Strickland refuses to listen to me, I strongly advise you to forbid him to perform such a hazardous experiment. Very respectfully, Dr. Waverly Ackroyd. Okay, so this is really quite an interesting case because here we've obviously got quite an enthusiastic doctor that, you know, wants to do the best for his patient, obviously, because he's saying that a surgical procedure could save his arm. Obviously, with any surgery, it comes with risks. But it seems like he's had some issues in the past due to his lack of experience. In this instance, I would be tempted to side with Dr. Ackroyd for the simple reason being, do no harm is at the utmost of the Hippocratic Oath. And if he is not experienced enough to be complete in the surgery, he shouldn't be doing it. He should leave it to a more senior member of staff that does have the skills and then learn from that member of staff. So, yeah. Interesting. A rare species of vampires. As a scholar and exegete of ancestral writings, I would never insist enough about the importance of taking legends and ancient folklores into account when searching for hints about hidden or lost secrets. A common mistake is to take what we know for an established truth and to use it to discard any contradictory material. For example, we must consider the possibility of undiscovered species of vampires and the necessity to rethink what we see as the established truth about the various types of immortals, based on what we know and what we gathered through time. For how many centuries did we consider that vampire was the vernacular term for what we had learned to call XONE? Until the day 4 explorers of the Brotherhood found proof in Siberia that Volkards or a lupine type of vampire. We considered these creatures to be linked to the mythological werewolf. Now we know that is not true. What about the rest? What about the Rakasha from my homeland? What about the Chinese Jiangxi or the Puchin of southern Chile? And without even leaving the beautiful Great Britain, what about the stories about bat-shaped women that are sometimes seen flying around St. James's Church in in Louth? What about the creature only identified as a disaster in some obscure testimonies, which tried to destroy London in 1666 by spreading the plague all around the city? What about the Nimrod, the mythical figure of the restless vampire hunter, sometimes described by ancestral British icons as a legendary huntsman who only feeds on his prey's blood and could go unnoticed amongst the mortals and immortals? I tell you, my brothers, we never can be too sure of what we could find, if only we could forget for a few minutes what we're supposed to already know. From Unveiling the Night by Usher Talltree, Primate of St. Paul. Okay. Do we have any more goodies? Yes. Letter of Rakesh Chadana, Pembroke Hospital, 4th of August. Dear Dr. Swansea, I will be glad to manage the temporary morgue as soon as it is opened. As I have already told you, I was a doctor during the war, and I will be glad to serve my country again. I know it is not the same being a physician of the dead as it is for the living, but I believe that it is important to welcome and take good care of our departed too. Rest assured, I will do my best to fully perform this new duty to the best of my ability. Concerning the question of my qualifications, I am sorry I can't give you anything more valuable than my parole. I swear to you that my regiment made me a doctor during the war, and that I saved many lives. If my word is not enough, you can contact the military administration to verify my experience and skills. They will confirm that even if I never followed any medical studies, the war taught me what a doctor really needs to know. Always sincerely, Rakesh Chajana, former doctor. Okay, so Rakesh is not a doctor in the sense that he has membership to the register. So he's not a registered doctor. And he learnt his skills from being a field medic, probably. Yeah, okay. So not a registered doctor. I think that's everything in here. Okay. Let's do this one because they're in the hospital grounds. There he is.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Okay, so she doesn't have anything else for us.
Goodbye, Nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
So it's got to be Dr. Tippett is here.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news
Not
to
really.
want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered
Okay, so that's
dosage
true.
was
We
too
know that
strong.
from the medical report, so he's not lying.
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks, maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed a body.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again.
And I believe
have
him.
saved so many lives since then.
Yeah, I'm covering for him.
I will cover for you, Dr. Tippett, by keeping what happened to Mr. Connor to myself.
I don't know what to say, actually. I can't exactly force you to become my accomplice.
You didn't force me. This is my decision to make. I believe you're still of use to the hospital, considering the situation.
Then I can make you this promise. As soon as the epidemic is eradicated,
Okay, I think that's fair because this hospital really does need all the help it can get, and I don't think losing another doctor would help because we've got an inexperienced doctor, we've got an older, more experienced doctor in Ackroyd. Tippett is also experienced, so we've only got 2 experienced doctors. Edgar, we've learned from the beginning, tends to stay in his office and doesn't practice much. I think the administration work kind of takes over. So I think if we were to lose Tippett, then that would leave the hospital in a pretty difficult situation. It's already overrun. So yeah, I'm happy with that.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Okay, let's go and speak to the benefactor.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of
I
our
really
encounter.
love this music. Her theme is just beautiful. Yeah, I am actually glad to see her because initially we met her, she briefly spoke to us and then kind of vanished. So yeah, I'm glad to see another immortal.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Okie dokie. So, patience.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best, to ease their pain.
I do believe her. She has given me no reason not to believe her so far.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Pardon my boldness, Your Ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament.
Okay, so there's hint number 1 for how she wants us to deal with this situation. So, 1, we're not allowed to eat the culprit, so no nibbles.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
Okay, so, yeah, let's do this one.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral
Okay, so here
out of
I'm
control.
thinking that she's already giving us a real insight into what she's expecting of us. So all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze. We know we can mesmerize, but if we're mesmerizing or hypnotizing somebody, then that's going to lead to obviously something going wrong potentially. So for me, she's given me a hint there in my mind that she doesn't want me to kill the person, and she doesn't want me to use my mesmerism skills to sort the problem. So it'll be interesting to see what other options we have for dealing with the situation.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Okay, so she wants to know who it is, basically.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood
Okay,
loss.
so you know what? I'm pretty sure that this is true. She's a vampire after all. She's visiting patients at night. The blackmailer has a list of dates and suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss. She's already made a payment. You know, it kind of tells me that it's true. So I'm going to go and say I'll just take care of it.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
Arthur's no is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Okay. Let's go and chat to Harriet.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Callaghan firm.
It is the last thing I wished. Simpletons, these nurses. Bred with no respect.
Sappho, Royal Garden Hall Theatre. Clyde Fitch presents Doris Fletcher in Sappho. Right, let's have a little chat.
What? What? What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Yeah, so one, I'm not going to tell her to shut up. That's unprofessional. I'm just going to say please calm down.
Please, calm down, madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified. I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent
Dropping the
cunts
C-bomb
with all
there.
sorts vein.
Okay, so she clearly likes her gossip. That's pretty obvious. Well, I don't think she's the blackmailer, but yeah.
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before
Obviously
giving
not
you
a
a
fan
blanket.
of the hospital staff then.
You seem to know more about the goings-on here than anyone else. Beware, Miss Jones, in case suspicion should fall on you.
That's it. Blame the old and infirm. I see those little bitches' greedy little eyes. Just waiting for me to pop off they are.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on.
Yeah,
See you
we
on the next
already
round.
know about Pippa and Milton, so that's nothing new.
The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with that.
Too much energy for so little result.
See you again.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
Now we know she's telling the truth, but
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse
I mean, I
finds some
agree,
happiness where she
but
can?
she shouldn't be speaking like that about patients.
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
Slightly annoying that this is still there as an option because we've just spoken to her about that.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Yeah. Damn. The pain. There
I
again.
wish I could be sick again. I feel my blood boil with the fever.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor.
Fair
Just
point.
like the patients.
Fair point.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Okay then.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Okay, so we've already done this, but it's always good to get a refresher.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
So I guess we're going to follow him then. Go for a little wander first. I'm wondering where that is. Okay, so it's further along. Maybe we'll have a little wander and see if we can find it. I'm a little bit wary of going into some areas immediately because we are still only level 5, so I am a bit cautious about that. can hear the train. Okay, so he's a level 11, so... He managed okay. Well, Clay, if this is your hideout that's supposed to be so difficult to find, then you have a lot left to do, my friend, because that was easy.
This must be Clay Cox's knife. A fine blade. No wonder he wants it back.
Right, let's go take this back to Clay. I think Clay's taking a leak. Yeah. We'll just wait for him a second.
At least that mistress of the dark has stopped following.
I think Brannigan is talking about Thelma.
It's safer here than anywhere else in the East End.
Is our little mystery closer to being solved, Dr. Reed?
I think of nothing else, my lady.
My situation is delicate, and it occupies all my thoughts. The blackmail must stop.
Okay.
I need assurance.
That was a nice little bit of interaction there.
Hey, Doc.
I have found a gift from your wife.
In that case, you'll be properly rewarded, Doc. Clay Cox is a man of his word.
I hope that won't make me an accomplice to your future crimes.
Who knows what I might do now I feel invincible again?
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
When I get back, I'll have a word with Tom.
Okay, so I think he's talking about Tom, the barman from the docks, the turquoise turtle owner. So we might have to keep an eye out on Tom's safety there. I'm trying to decide if I want to go into the sewers or whether I would like to evolve first. Let's have a look. What have we got up here? So we've done that one, we've done that one, and we've done that one. Let's have a little look at this one. Gonna have a little look down here a second. This looks promising. Level 7. And level 6. I think we can do this. Maybe. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. Survey mission, 25th of October. From the Guard of Prewen Command Post, the East End Patrols. Object, Vampire activity. Hospital. Survey, investigate. 3 days ago, one of our new recruits heard a rumour about the presence of a female vampire hiding in the Pembroke Hospital, London, East End. All we have is her first name, Thelma. Your mission is to discreetly go there and observe any suspicious activity concerning said leech. Then report directly back to us, and we will decide what action should be taken. Okay. So that's updated the quest. See, now this is what I find slightly odd, is that they're watching from here, and right across there where that flickering light is, that's my balcony to my room. That's a bit worrying. Thankfully, I've not used that yet. So somewhere on here I must have a... Yeah, I do. It's right up there. That needs to go. Okay, so the next part of this quest is in Whitechapel, where we have to go, I think, later. So I'm possibly going to untrack that for now. I think I'm going to play it smart, and I think I am going to go and evolve. I just have this feeling that I might need to do that. Okay. So I think I need to think a little bit, because... What's that? Okay, so that's 1,000. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Sorry, Jonathan. Sit back down. I'm going to start thinking about tactically what I want to do and how I want to go with fights. I absolutely love Shadow Mist. I think that works really well for me. I think I'm going to go with claws just because I feel like I need something that doesn't need stamina or blood to work. So yeah, I think when I'm up close, I just feel like I need something else. So I'm going to just go with this. I'd love to have a little bit of extra defense. So I'm going to go with Blood Barrier. And I'm also going to go with Spring. Because sometimes when I dodge backwards from attacks, or just to give me some space, I can't kind of get straight back at them when I want to. So I think that will help with that. Now the question is, do I go for another stamina? Or another health? I'm just thinking, I'd need 1,200, which I'm not far off from. I think I'm going to go with health. And then I'll need to do body condition later. I know some of you might be thinking, well, why are you not doing anything with the bite? And it's because I don't really use bite that much. And I'm going to work on some of my equipment. So I'm hoping to be able to absorb blood through using the weapons that I have. Let's do this. Okay, so Pembroke is looking pretty good because we healed Mortimer and Clay last time. They're doing okay. And I think the only reason that Pembroke isn't sanitized is because we've not met this gentleman yet, and I'm sure he probably has a condition. So that's fine. The docks have stayed the same. We haven't been back there, but I need to be careful that I don't evolve too much without going to deal with this. I might actually swap those around. Because my thinking is, my used machete doesn't have any blood absorb. But this Lister knife does. So if that's my offhand there, and then in my other option, I use the hacksaw, which, but that doesn't. But I'm sure I can upgrade that to. Let me go have a look at the workbench. Yes, so I can upgrade this to have blood absorption, which I think works well. So and then I want to see, I can only level this machete to level 2. So I want to try and find a better machete. Or, you know, at least a weapon that does damage. So do I want to use the materials to upgrade this one? Maybe I can upgrade something better. I'm going to say no. I'm going to leave that. Same with a steak. I need to get a better steak. I am going to upgrade this though. Okay. Okay, let's go have a look and see what we can do in the sewers. Or actually, I think we might leave the sewers till next time because we're coming up on an hour again of gameplay. And I don't want to go too mad with gameplay and episodes because I need to edit them and upload them. So
Safer here than anywhere else in the East End.
okay, so Lady Ashbury is still here. Excuse me while I just loot everything. Okay, everybody, I think I'm going to leave it there for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed another episode. I'm really looking forward to the next one, where I think we're going to go into the sewers and start investigating the blackmail for Lady Ashbury and see how far we can get there and exploring new territories and picking up new equipment, hopefully, because I do need to upgrade some of it. But I think we've done well this episode, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.